What's up, guys? This is RonTheTryhard here. First off, I just want to say thanks for all the subscribers that I got up to 50, so that's awesome. Thanks, guys, for the support. Today, I just wanted to try something new here. I know I've been getting a lot of people always asking me, like, you know, what are some tips and stuff for Balrog, some basics. So I figured I'd try maybe starting a small little series on it, just going into just really basic stuff, not like anything super complicated. I might get into that a little later if people want me to, but right now I'm basically just going to cover the fundamentals of being a Balrog player and kind of go from there. So first thing I'm going to start with is anti-airs. That is the single most essential thing you pretty much need to start out with, because everybody loves jumping in ranked match, especially starting out at the earlier levels. They jump in so they can get whatever confirm they want. That's like the easiest way to, you know, segue into combos in this game. So it's a very common thing for people to just do kind of haphazardly. So Balrog has like two of the best anti-air buttons in the game right here. His standing medium punch, of course, and his crouching hard punch. And they're both useful in their own situations. So for those who aren't aware, this is a 5-frame startup move. Basically meaning it's very fast. It's only 1 frame slower than his light punches. So it comes out very quick, very to the point, and it has a really good range. So just putting him on, putting him on jump, you can kind of see the range at which it hits him at. I need to turn counter off here, but yeah. So finding the reach for it, there's also a spot where you can kind of hit behind like that, but it's really specific. It's not really good for cross-ups, even though the Street Fighter patch notes said that he would attack behind him. That sort of works, but not really. Specifically works against Rashid and Fang. And that's one thing you have to kind of take into account, is different matchups will kind of have different, you know, jump-in tools. Like Ryu, for instance, has his jump-in Tatsu, and we're going to get into that too and try that out. But yeah, mostly you're going to be using this one kind of in quick situations. But this one is really good for a lot of things. In fact, a lot of people now are kind of arguing it's the better anti-air. So we'll try both. Basically, the idea of what we're going to do here, for those who aren't familiar with just kind of the training setup, you go and you set them to record. And then you... Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have him set to a bunch of different recordings. And one of them is going to be him forward jumping. The others are just going to simulate typical neutral things. So maybe have Ryu, you know, doing that. Although I started kind of late, so we'll try that again. But yeah, so doing that, he's kind of looking like he's doing a DP or a Hadoken, but he's not. And then we'll have one that's kind of doing the same thing, and then do that. I actually don't know what level of Hadoken Ryu's favor. I don't think it really matters for this test. And we'll have another one. So we'll do that. And we'll just start with that for now. And then we're going to go and set them all to record. Now, I probably might have already screwed this up, but pretty much what you'll want to do is try to just make it look as natural as possible, not you know, it starts in between, and try not to telegraph it too much between the different recordings, because then obviously it's going to be kind of easy for you to tell which one it's playing back on. And we're not going to display the recording playback info, because that'll help it so I can't see. So pretty much what you want to do for this kind of training is you want to do that, set him to just kind of a few different things, and you can set more to, you know, make it more difficult for yourself. We're just going to do 3 for now. And basically just practice the anti-airs whenever he jumps. What you can also do kind of as an added thing is with Balrog you can V-skill through projectiles. So whenever he does a Hadouken, you can just V-skill through it. You know, just to kind of practice that on the same level. But it's not necessary. You can just block it if you want. And so yeah, let's just go right into it. What I like to do is I like to do at least 10 reps on each side. So we're going to try doing 10 anti-airs on the left and then switch sides and then do 10 anti-airs on the right. And that's consecutively without failing. So if I screw up, I'm going to start the count over. So you want to try to stay like the right distance between, see? So that as soon as he jumps, you'll be ready for it. So that's the first one. And this might take a little while. This is a little slow process. I might not do it all, but yeah, you get the idea. It's good to kind of work on your reflexes that way. And see, I just V-skilled kind of on reaction without really thinking about it. By doing this, you get this kind of stuff in muscle memory, so that you won't have to really think much about it. It'll just kind of come as second nature to you. So that was what, 2 or 3? Kind of lost count. We'll just do 5 and call it for now, because this is the kind of the thing I already do all the time. But yeah, you get the idea. And you can even, you know, do your typical neutral stuff with lights to kind of keep them back. You know, whatever you want. Oh, that was a V-skill. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward training. It just you can also do stuff, I mean, kind of what you're doing in neutral with Rog is you're staying at this optimal range at all times to where you can just instantly put that out if they jump. So that's been about 5 times. And then yeah, you would basically set the recording to do the opposite on the other side. You would go here, switch it so that you're on the right side, and basically just mirror the same thing you just did. That does require you changing the recording settings for it. Otherwise, he's just going to start jumping backwards, and that's going to be awkward. So yeah, that's one of the things. That's like the easiest, kind of simplest way to set up anti-air practice. And we can also, I can show you crouch hard punch too. You can do it as well with this kind of stuff. So anytime he jumps, you kind of want to be a little closer for this one. And see, I just failed it there. I'm not as good with crouch hard punch, but yeah, it is very good in most cases. In fact, you can actually punish his Hadoukens pretty easily if you do a V-skill punch at the right spacing. Like that. And that's something you can kind of practice on too, is punishing him for that. So yeah, if we can get him to jump again, then I can kind of show you. Crouch hard punch, you really have to kind of delay it a little longer, which some people like because it, you know, it gives you more time to react to it. I'm very quick on my feet when it comes to the reactions on that kind of stuff, so I prefer standing medium punch if at all possible. And it is pretty much like deeply ingrained in my head since season 1, so old habits definitely die hard. But if we can get him to do the jump at one point here. And yeah, of course the key is to set it to random, and sometimes he'll never jump, which is kind of what we're getting here. But that's the whole point, is it's to kind of catch you off guard. So that, like, the moment when you least suspect it, they'll jump, and you have to be ready for it. like that. Although I don't know why that's trading. I might have to practice that a little more. Let me just see if I can set him to do that. Oh wait, no, I have that one set. That's right. Okay. I just want to see if I can. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the timing is different on that one than standing medium punch, so it does take practice. But yeah, crouch hard punch is good too. I like the standing medium punch better because it sets you up for better kind of opportunities. Like you can do this, and you can cross them up. If you just do a forward dash after the standing medium punch anti-air. Crouching hard punch, you can't really do that. Crouching hard punch, you have to kind of micro walk up to them, and you can't really. Yeah, see, like you can get something like that. Also, oh, okay, that was charge at work. Screw smash is another one that you can do pretty easily. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing in the world. It's a DP motion, and you kind of have to be a bit at a distance. And that comes out a lot with Balrog, is the other issue. But yeah, that's something you can try practicing too. That's better for neutral jumps though, but you can still use it, as you can see there. It's especially good if they do dive kicks, so like it's really good against Cammy, for instance. And I'm actually going to get into that next. So that's the first thing we're going to try. Second thing, instead of having him do a regular jump in, I'm going to have him try to do like a DP so he can delay it, because some people have those. They have DP, or not, sorry, not DPs, Tatsu. He's going to try doing a Tatsu. And instead of like dive kicks like some characters have, Ryu has a Tatsu, which basically works the same way. It's kind of meant to, you know, delay it a little bit. Now his I don't think really delays it all that much. But yeah. He can kind of do that. Just a little bit. I think the EX one does. Let's see. Yeah, okay, the EX one, I mean, is an air-to-air, so it's not really that good. I would have to play someone like Ken if I wanted to kind of demonstrate more how it works, because his is more like a dive kick than Ryu's. Ryu's is just kind of a weird air-to-air thing. Or he can try to do it to, you know, cross you up or whatever. So yeah. And what I'm doing here is I'm doing something that Ryu's and other Shotos do a lot. They're basically trying to buffer DP or Hadouken in neutral, so that at any moment all they have to do is release the button, and they can do it, like, without a moment's notice. So yeah, that's kind of what that is. I want to see. Yeah, you have to be really low to the ground, don't you? Okay, we'll try that. I don't think this is going to work the way I think it's going to work, but, yeah, we'll try it anyway. Yeah, okay. So it actually does, it does kind of get out of my anti-air a little bit better. So you just kind of have to, in those cases, you kind of have to be a little more deliberate, I guess. Crouching hard punch in these cases tends to work better, I found, when they do specials. I think the priority system also has something to do with that. If they're like jumping into a heavy Tatsu, then you know you want to have a heavy to kind of match it. If you do a medium, then it has a chance of just prioritizing over it. So yeah, Tatsu and medium kick, heavy kick, those are kind of the jump-ins you want to practice against with Ryu. Again, I'm not really a Ryu player, so I don't really have the exact answers for like how to do the Tatsu properly in the air, but that's my best guess. So yeah, you see there you can delay it a little more. So yeah, that's the first character that wanted to have us practice with anti-airs. Okay, so we got Cammy here. Basically, one thing that Cammies do, I'm sure everybody knows this by now, they love doing cannon strikes or cannon spikes or whatever they're called. Her dive kick. They love just jumping in and doing it because if they space it right, they can make it safe and they can even make it plus if it hits low enough. So the key in those cases, you don't want to do this too much. Crouching hard punch is the way to go against her dive kicks. So we can practice this here. So we'll just have one do this. We'll have one. And then say she does that. So we'll just set 2 in this case, so you can kind of see. Okay, yeah, that was too far away. It's kind of hard to test out these because Cammies requires more kind of user knowledge to figure out the spacing with it. So yeah. And yeah, that's again too far. And I may have done it wrong too. Again, I don't know. See, that's kind of the optimal situation. That might have actually been punishable if I had just let it go though. Yeah, see. So I need to practice more with this on how to do it here, so if we go like, although that's not even, yeah, it would be best to like delay it like that. Okay, so we're doing like that. So let's try that here. I might have delayed it a little too much. Okay, no, I guess I didn't delay it. I guess I delayed it right about how I should. So yeah, there's a lot of cases where they do that. Screw smash, like I said, can be useful in those cases when they want to delay it. It's all kind of a head game at that point with Cammy though. This matchup's really annoying, but if you can get those anti-airs down sooner rather than later. So yeah, you can kind of practice and change it up depending on how you see fit. But the idea is just to try to get 10 consistently, which I am doing a very poor example right here. Like I said, I'm not sure if I set it up 100% as I should, but for these cases you pretty much want to do screw smash there. Or you can do medium punch in this case where she's delaying it. If she's close enough, it might work. If she's coming in kind of deep, then that's not what you'd want to do. And one thing to note, one thing Cammies like doing, especially like ones who, you know, just take a lot of risks, they like doing EX Hooligan, which is that that move. They like doing that, and they can do like one of 3 things. They can do a dive kick, they can do that low that you just saw, or they can do a grab. And the one thing you have to notice about it is that you can actually just hold down back to get out of every single situation. So I'll just show you here. Let me set this back to normal. Okay, so if we just set this to doing that one, and then if we set this one, oops, my bad. I do not play Cammy. There we go. And then if we set this one, like that. So there we go. So yeah, crouching hard punch works well on that too. And that'll pretty much get you out of most of it, unless she's like crossing you up. If she's crossing you up, it's kind of a toss-up, like that. She can get out, whatever. But yeah, another thing. Sometimes screw smash can work if she's like doing it from really far away, but yeah, crouching hard punch is still kind of your best thing to do. You should never let a Cammy hooligan you in any situation, because all you have to do is this. See? Gets out of every situation. Even the dive kick. If I can get her to do it. Yeah, see, even the dive kick can be crouched. So it's not really an overhead. So all of her mix-ups with that hooligan are completely fake. And I'm not going to get like super into matchup knowledge, but that's something that is definitely worth knowing kind of as an anti-air tool. Her dive kicks with the EX hooligan are not really, you know, normal overhead dive kicks. But again, kind of that. Another thing you can do is, yeah, jump back light punch. That's especially good if you're like in the corner. Like just keep them out. Like that sort of thing. Now, usually if you do that, they're still going to have like frame advantage when you land, so you aren't going to want to like try to press any buttons after that. It just depends on where they are relative to you. If they're higher than you and you land first, then you have the advantage. If they land first, they have the advantage. So yeah, it all depends. You just have to kind of watch for that with air-to-airs. So that's pretty much wrapping up Cammy. You just want to practice, like I said, 10 times on each side with her dive kick. I would say specifically, just so you can practice anti-airing those. And we'll move to the next character here. I have a couple more. Okay, so one thing that you also need to kind of learn is Dhalsim. He has a very weird toolkit. As many are aware of this, Balrog pretty much wins this matchup. However, like, a good Dhalsim can keep him out and pretty much make it so he can't press any buttons. One thing Dhalsim's like doing is they like doing neutral jumps into drill. So that's something that you can practice anti-airing as well. That'll come in handy. So let me just, I can't remember which drill it is. It might be like from this distance. No, it's okay. So it's light. So they'll do like that kind of thing. So if let's see. Yeah, so they'll do that kind of thing to try to hit you. It's a similar thing where with Dhalsim's drills, if the dive kick hits, I believe it's like lower than the chest, then he has the advantage on block. If he hits you on the like above the chest, then you have the advantage. So you have to kind of watch that. One thing you can do is it's kind of a risky trick, but it's one that I've seen people do even in like pro scenes, is they'll just F dash, so then they can punish him. So see, if they get on that distance, then he's punishable even on hit, or he's at least like, you know, -2 or whatever. But yeah, if they're like, so I'm gonna try doing a different thing here. So we're gonna try. We'll do that. So these are typical things that Dhalsim's like doing in neutral. We might actually add one more here. Yeah, so we'll try doing those. I mean, that's probably not super close. But yeah, from this distance, those are kind of what you'd expect Dhalsim's to do. So yeah. And that might actually left him positive if it hadn't. But yeah, crouching hard punch is good for that, for the drill as well. You just have to kind of, you have to really kind of react to it. Although that was too far out. But yeah, it comes fast, so it's hard to react. And it has such a weird angle. Actually, maybe, I don't think either of those work from that distance. I think screw smash, if you can practice to do that, would actually be the best. Yeah, okay. That one is a little harder for sure. I'm not gonna pretend like I've sat here and practiced like a lot with that one specifically, but that's why I'm doing this right now, is to kind of give myself an idea as well. So yeah, as soon as you see him jump, I'm gonna try medium kick screw smash and see if that works. No, startup's too slow. I guess what you could do is you could do EX screw smash. Try the EX one. Yeah, see, okay, so that's easy enough to do on reaction. Of course, it wastes a bar. Yeah, in those cases, you pretty much just want to F dash if you can. Show an example. Yeah, see, like that. So there are varying things. You could also probably hold charge, although that would counter hit, so that might not be that good actually. Let me actually see something from this distance. If no, that's not gonna work either. I wonder if EX straight works too. Let's try this here. As soon as he jumps. I might have set way too many here. Okay, yeah, he jumped. So yeah, anti-airing that can be very difficult if the Dhalsim spaces it right. In some cases, it's literally just better to forward dash and take the hit, because then you're in his face and you're actually plus. So that's kind of a little trick, and you can do that with a lot of dive kick characters actually. Minot's drill kind of works in a similar way, so you can do that as well. Okay, so nobody really plays Zeku, but this is just a little bonus thing. Zeku's Bushin flip, it works basically the same as Hooligan, except it's just a worse version of it. I mean, he can cross you up with it, so that's good. It's really scary in the corner, but pretty much all you have to do, pretty much all you have to do is just block down back, and if you see him getting behind you like that, all you have to do is hold down back. You can also just back up or jump back. There's a lot of easy ways to deal with this. So let me try turning these on, that would be helpful. So yeah, jump back light punch, the simplest thing you can do. Shuts it down all the time. If you're in the corner, it still shuts it out. Now that thing does not work in the corner. This does to some extent because it hits behind, but see, there are certain parts where it just doesn't work. So jump back light punch will always work in that case. If you don't, you basically just hold down back, and that will work. The only cases in those cases when he leaves it. Yeah, when he does that. And at certain distances like this, it can be hard to kind of see what he's gonna do. As you can see right there. Jump back light punch, like I said, if you can react to that every single time, even later, like, you can still get it. One thing you can also do to screw him up is just forward dash. See, like that'll screw Zeku's up too, because they don't expect you to, you know, go under. I guess I could try with Akuma's as well, but I don't actually have Akuma on this. I'd have to get my PS4. Akuma's Demon Flip works in a similar way, except it's just better in like every way, and he has projectiles. Against Akuma, you basically just want to dash under every time you see him do a Demon Flip. That covers like 3 out of 4 of his options that he can do. He can still do the low, but that requires him to fully like let it go. And it can also be V-reversaled if the worst comes to worst. But usually if you F-dash under, even if he does the Hadokens, you can get a grab, you can get a, you know, any kind of punish you want. So yeah, that basically covers Balrog's anti-air options in a nutshell. I mean, it's not really a nutshell because I do kind of drag these on. But yeah, you get a good idea of kind of what Balrog's anti-airs are good for and what they do, what kind of situations to use each one. And you can basically just hopefully take this knowledge and practice, and hopefully up your anti-air game if it's lacking. That is something that I see some Balrogs struggle with, even like higher levels. And so it's always something good to have. It's pretty much the first and foremost thing you need with Balrog is good anti-airs. So that's it for this video. I'm not sure if I want to like continue on with this. It just depends, I guess. If you guys like this video, be sure to let me know, and just let me know that you want me to continue making these, and I'll try pushing out more. Alright, see ya.